So the Phoenix Mercury not only clinched the season series over the New York Liberty, but they are also in sole possession of the 4th seed, even though they're tied with Atlanta. I'm just curious to know, how satisfied are you guys with this runs, or how do you guys look to continue to build on that before the playoffs?
Yeah, I don't think we're satisfied. We can't be. There's going to still be movement in the standings. Obviously, we're happy for tonight. We haven't had one of these big wins in a little while. Obviously, with what was at stake with the standings, it was a big win just to get that tiebreaker against them. Obviously, you can't get too high in this league. There's a good chance that we see New York in the first round. It is what it is. I'm really pleased with our defense in the second half. Obviously, they were missing a key piece in Sabrina. Kind of tried to play a little bit bigger than they have with now Stewie back, Emma and JJ. So, they were trying some things tonight, but I was just really proud of our defense in the second half.
Coach, with McAnee, she had more O-boards than New York's entire team and just capitalized on a lot of second chance points. How impressed were you with her, considering that she was switching on Jonquil and then Emma and then Stewie? Just how impressed were you with Mac and how she was able to switch?
Yeah, I'm just really proud of her. The last 2 games, probably career highs in minutes, right? So I'm super excited for her conditioning. She just impacts winning with her effort on the glass. She flies around. Her teammates love her. It's you want good things to happen to good people, and she stayed with it, and she's kind of figuring out how to play next to AT, which is awesome. But her activity on the glass was big time.
Going back to Aya's question, last night you guys clinched. Tonight you had that big win towards the season series. With a team that just at the beginning of this year was talking about how they needed to find chemistry together, how would you say the team has come at this point in the season, and what have you seen just in their growth?
Yeah, we battled a lot of adversity early in the season with our injuries, and then we had players coming back. We added DB, which has been great, but that stuff takes time, right? You got a team in New York that has kind of been together, Minnesota a little bit, Vegas, right? Like, we're playing catch up, and we need these type of games. But yeah, I'm happy with where we're at. I'm proud of the commitment that our group is making. I thought we really just cared about one thing tonight, and that was winning. And that's what it is this time of year. It's not about your minutes or shots. It's about impacting the game. And a great example of that is Kat Westbeld, right? She played 9 minutes tonight. The belief that she had in herself to shoot those shots. New York was kind of coming back. I think they had cut it to 7. AT gets downhill. Kat had just checked in and hits a big 3 to push it back to 10. And that's what it takes to be on a good team. You got to sacrifice, and we've got a group that's doing that right now. I just for a group that has not been through it together, we need these type of games, these kind of wins.
Coach, you mentioned Kat only played 9 minutes, and you only went 3 deep. They went 5. So what can you say about the efficiency of going just 3 deep compared to the air bench?
Yeah, I've kind of committed to the 8-player rotation. I like what it gives us. People know when they're coming in and coming out. And obviously I can maneuver that as the game goes on, depending on how it goes. Matt got more minutes tonight just to match up with JJ because she just did a really good job on her. I think this time of year, everyone's conditioning is up. We've tried to keep everyone's minutes kind of down throughout the year, so there hasn't been a ton of wear and tear, but had some really good performances tonight.
You noted pregame that Ka hadn't had that big game against New York, maybe kind of hopeful that she could do that tonight. How have you worked with her over the course of the season as she's tried to get right physically,
Yeah.
to be patient, maybe kind of bring the best out of her, not get too low, all that
Yeah.
stuff?
Yeah, I mean, she'd probably be the first to tell you it's been a tough year for her physically. And then sometimes when it's tough physically, it's tough mentally. We've talked a lot about perspective, right? And just seeing the big picture, even though, you don't want to at times. But just her confidence level, I mean, she shot 10 threes tonight. I love that. She was fearless. She loves these moments, and we know that when it matters, she's going to be there. I'm just happy for her that she physically is feeling better. She's getting into a rhythm, and she had an absolute awesome game.
Following up on Brendan's questions, Kalia scored 20 or more points in the last 2 games, and she's been getting more comfortable, especially after returning from injury. I'm just curious to know how pleased have you been with Kalia's development throughout the year?
Very. I mean, again, she was here last year. I think all of us know how talented a player she is, what she can do on a night-to-night basis, and now she's finding that rhythm.
You had 26 points off turnovers tonight. Is that partly a product of Sabrina not being out there, do you think? That they would turn the ball over that much? And also, what do you think was the biggest difference from the game in New York tonight?
Well, obviously we forced them into some turnovers, which helped us a bunch. But we also kept them off the free throw line. I think they had been averaging like 24 free throws a game against us or something like that. To keep them off the free throw line was big time. And we just competed and made it tough for them. We're at our best when we force teams to turn it over, because that means we get to play in transition, and AT's, playing full steam ahead, and we got shooters around. We get a ton of transition threes that way. I'm sure it's just a little bit of combination of our defense, and then they're just, not having Sabrina out there with another ball handler.
Nate, you won the challenge early in the fourth quarter, and then after timeout to get the one of the three. Can you speak to the process of the timely after timeout calls, where it's personnel accounted for as well as game rhythm?
Yeah, I mean, our staff and myself included really try to allow our players to play. Obviously, we've got sets that we run, but I've kind of just liked, as a head coach, being able to try to find different ways to give teams different looks. It's what you spend all afternoon or all morning doing, preparing your ATOs, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But that was a big shot by DB.
With everything that's happened with this big three, the injuries, and I think you brought up something that they played 15 games together since the break. Do you guys feel that this group, that this big three specifically, is peaking at the right time?
That's the hope. That's the hope. I mean, we need these games. We need to go through good times and tough times. It's part of learning how to be a good team. And so, we've got 5 more to go. And all those are going to matter just as much as this one. We can't take a deep breath. We've still got work to do. And we need these games. We do, because we need the reps as a unit to kind of find our way.
One on Zoom, Andrew?
Can you hear me all right, Coach?
Hear you.
Great. So with the AT for MVP discussion, I feel like a lot of the discourse around her has been that she does things and impacts the game in ways that people might not see as easily as simply scoring might. And I'm curious if there are any moments you can point to tonight or any in recent games that you as a coach see and you know its value, but other people might not, or might not see it as valuable as it should be.
Yeah, I think just her commitment to the defensive end on each and every possession. I said this maybe a week ago. The one thing two things. When there's a defensive rebound and her momentum is kind of taking her towards the other end to kind of start leading the break, I think that's one of the most special things about her. She goes from a rebound, 1 or 2 dribbles, and she's at half court. The second thing is just her awareness on jump ball situations, on a loose ball. She's, the other night against Chicago with, I don't know, it was 6 seconds to go or something like that. They have a chance to cut it to 2, and free throw goes up, and it's a missed free throw, it's a loose ball, and there's 6 people around the basketball, and who comes up with it? Alyssa Thomas. And to me, that just kind of shows who she is. One stat that I did see today, which I think is really awesome, is, she leads, obviously, people love points when it comes to MVP, but she leads the league with points and assisted combined, which I think is a pretty special stat. It shows that she's scoring, maybe at not the highest clip, but her assists, kind of take that over. So anyway, I love the AT for MVP conversation. I think she deserves it. Obviously, there's other people that are in the mix too. The shitty part for her is she's been overlooked probably her whole career, and it's important for us to keep winning, to keep that alive, in my opinion, because she deserves all the credit that she's getting. And I know she doesn't want to talk about herself, but I know how much she appreciates the X Factor and what they bring, and the love that they've given her each and every night.
Nate, you guys were.
Yeah, we have two. Here, go ahead. We have 2 players out
Go
here.
ahead.
Okay, Nate, you guys were down 2 at the half,
Yeah.
and you won the second half by 19. What happened?
We guarded.
Perfect.
They scored 24 points in the second half. How about that? There you go. Awesome. Have a good night.